Hi, photographers. I want to ask you something. Have you ever stared at your work and thought, what on earth should I charge for this? Or maybe you've sold something, but deep down inside, you feel like you've totally have undercharged. You are not alone. And if you haven't thought about that, I am so shocked because I know when I first got started in my photography journey, this was something huge. So today is all about pricing. And the scariest part about building a photography business is pricing. What do I charge?
Welcome to Capture and Connect. Insight, challenges, and proven strategies to help you take your passion for photography and turn it into an income-generating business. And now here's your host, Janice Sullivan.
Welcome back to Capture and Connect. I am so happy you're here because we are going to deep dive into pricing and building a value ladder. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. We're going to get through it through the whole video today in this episode. I just want to let you know that this is video 4 on how to start a photography business. This is how to build your foundation. But let me give you a little backstory so you understand where I'm coming from. See, I graduated, for those of you that don't know me, I did get a degree in fine art with an emphasis in photography. And back in those days, the galleries were the people who really controlled everything. If you wanted to become a fine art photographer and really push your creations out and make some good money. So if you wanted to be valued, had to really know somebody, or your work could be absolutely amazing. And then they'd say, yeah, let's go ahead and test you out. This was really hard. And you had to wait for someone else to actually decide. We would go to these places. They could look through your portfolio, give you ideas and help you on what they wanted. But what did you want? What do you want? And honestly, to tell you the truth, for me, I always say to tell you the truth. That when I say tell you the truth, it is from my soul. It is so frustrating and disempowering when you have somebody else saying, you're not good enough, or we'll take 50% of this. And you had no power over your business. But the times have changed, and I'm so happy. You see, with digital platforms now, online tools that we have, oh my gosh, we are the boss now. You get to decide on what you're worth. Not a gallery owner, not a stock agency, not anybody else. You get to do this. And yes, the freedom feels amazing. I absolutely just love it. But there's always a but, right? That's why I'm here for you today. But what it means is you need a game plan. And most people say you need a strategy, but I always like to make things fun. So I say, yes, you need a game plan. And that's what we're doing. So what we have to do is we have to start with the basics. That's right now the basics. We'll get to a little bit more in a little bit, but right now you cannot skip this. Especially, again, I'm working with you on the foundation. So you're starting off. If you skip this, you will always feel shaky and a little unsure about your business. So that's why your first step in pricing is simplicity and clarity. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to give you a variety of pricing for us landscape, nature, and fine art photographers. And there's other types of pricing. I do more deep dive in CC Biz method. But for today, this will at least get you thinking about pricing and understanding, because you will hear a lot of other people in the business sector, in photography, and they'll ask, how should I price? You'll hear, well, I can't really tell you how to price because there's so many variables. But in the beginning, there's not that many variables. So I'm going to give you the basics. And then as you move on to the value ladder, which we get towards the end, and yeah, you could think about it a little bit more details. But in the beginning, this is what I've done and what I've seen with clients and some friends. I have a lot of photographer friends too. So this is a start, and it's a good start. You may be one of these different areas in the field, and you may not, but I'm going to do the best I can to help you that do this style of work. So you might want to be in the fine art field. Most fine art is when you do this type of work, it's printing, shipping materials, and stuff like that. You're going to print and ship for a person or a company. And if it's a company, it's definitely not licensing. This is something that you're selling to get you started. We got to get you started. So start with the cost. How much it costs for the printing? How much does it cost for your shipping and materials? Multiply that by 3. Get a couple testimonials. Raise the price to 4 times the cost. Get a couple testimonials. Raise it 5 times the cost, and then get some more testimonials. Do me a favor when you're first starting off, save the limited editions until you have built trust and getting those testimonials. So why do you even want to do this? You want to cover your costs, prove that you're professional, and you want to grow with confidence. That's really, really important. Each testimonials that you receive equals social proof that allows you to build your pricing. I messed up on this in the beginning. I didn't get testimonials in the beginning. All my stuff was word of mouth. Could have been building my business faster if I would have asked for testimonials and put them out everywhere. Okay, I want to talk about commissions. I've done commissions. This is something that worked for me, so I'm going to share it with you. So, in the beginning, they know that you're doing something special. So, they know it's going to be more expensive than just getting a print because you are doing a piece for them. So, I based it on $100 an hour plus the cost. At this point, you have to have a contract for this, and you got to keep it simple. You could just have an email if you're just starting off. Don't get lawyer, don't go all crazy. This is just beginning steps. An email is great. There's a communication between you and your client. Why this is so important is because you are teaching and training your clients to respect your time. Time is money. If it feels too high, then you must adjust your time estimate, not your value, not what you're giving them. If you're taking too long to do something, get some help. Maybe at this stage, you might need someone to do some basic post-processing for you. Maybe you have a lot of dust on your lens and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever to clean up this image. Go hire someone really fast just to clean up your spots. Make sure that you still get paid for how much it's costing you to make the piece, whether it's printing, shipping, that kind of stuff, out of pocket stuff. Okay. You want to get compensated for that. Now, my favorite, this is what I love. I love to license. Licensing is my specialty, but I didn't jump right into licensing. I mean, I got little backstory. If you haven't heard, I got a gig on licensing a piece and I fell in love with that. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I love having my work out for a certain amount of time that they could use, and then it comes right back and I could go license it out to somebody else later. I just love it. As you can tell, I can talk about licensing forever. But what do you use when it comes to licensing? It's a little bit more difficult. I love Photo Quote. I will put that up here so you could see what it looks like. Photo Quote is really the tool that helps you understand how much it costs at whatever time you are doing the search, because there's so many different types of licensing that they keep the standards. And one of the reasons why I loved Photo Shelter, which I will share over here, that's what I use, Photo Shelter. They embed Photo Quote because that company helps people who license their work. And that's a great thing if you want to do that sector. So Photo Quote is embedded in the price of what they help you with when you sell your photography or license your photography. Or you can even ask ChatGTP to do some research on the standards with small companies. Make sure they're small because you're just starting off. And just like all the others, but in commission and in licensing, what do you need? Testimonials. Never forget your testimonials. Pricing and testimonials work together. Remember, when it comes to licensing, your images help other businesses. What do you use? You use PhotoQuote. PhotoShelter's awesome. ChatGTP to get those prices. Okay, let's talk about products. Now, I have personally have never sold products with my images. I've had clients do this. Again, because I'm around this, I understand the concepts of doing this. And you can make really good money on products with your imagery. What you're going to do is you're going to add up all the costs, materials, packaging, shipping, taxes, and add a margin of about 30% when you first start off. Get your testimonials. Without a profit margin, you're just giving away your products. Make sure you pay attention to everything that you put into your products. The last part is workshops. And I like workshops. I used to do workshops. This is a lot of fun. And there is a lot of us photographers doing workshops. So this is something that is pretty easy for you to figure out on pricing. What I personally did was to go look at people that did the workshops that I was thinking about doing, looked at their prices, looked at what they gave their people, and really used that as a base. Now, if the other photographer has testimonials already, then remember your price should be a little lower just because you're building a starting point, saying that this price is low. It will go up as I build my testimonials or as I build this new business that I'm doing. Be truthful. Be truthful about what you're doing and show them what you do and how they can make work like you or whatever you are having a workshop on. It is super, super duper important to show them why this price is the way it is. If you want to start with basics, like say, hey, this is the basic package. And if you want to keep this workshop for later, if you're doing something on Zoom or teaching them something, then get a VIP and you can keep it forever and you can have a little bit of higher price point, right? And if a premium could be more Q&A if you want to start that, so you have a little bit higher price. But when it comes to the base, I would personally ask AI and put the year that you are doing the search for your workshop and what is the prices that are going at this time. Tell AI your level. This is my first workshop. I don't have any testimonials. I want to do this and this. And what would be a good price? And definitely go out and do a little research because there's so many photographers that can help you just by looking at what they offer. I want you to always remember on your workshops, you're selling your wisdom, the transformation that you're giving them, and the shortcuts that they can get to where they want to be faster. The reason why I want to bring that up is because I feel like too many photographers will keep their prices low all the time because they feel, well, I'm getting the sales. But you cannot sustain a business keeping it at a low price. Yes, in the beginning, we have to cover our costs. We grab a few sales under our belt to make sure this is truly what people want. And you make sure that you love it, because that's a big thing too. And you stop only thinking about costs and you get into the thinking about value. That's why I always say you're valuable. That is the next part of pricing. Once you've got some testimonials, you could go beyond just numbers. That's a good thing. And you can start charging with emotional impact that I always say that you give. Now, like with me, I didn't build a lot of testimonials. I built credibility by people getting to know me, and then they would tell others about me. So you could lift your prices up like that too, as people are referring you to others. Now, what is value-based pricing? And I give this scenario in my CC Biz. A husband comes to me and says, I would love for you to photograph this daisy. My wife loves these white daisies. He wants this for his wife. His wife's going through some really sad times. He wants it's very special. Understand what I've done is not about paper and ink. It's about saving a marriage or saving a person from depression, showing that he loves her so much and had it photographed just for her. That is priceless. That is valued-based pricing. Your clients are not buying a photo of a mountain. They're buying tranquility, adventure, escape, or healing. That's value-based. So with this type of pricing, I want you to write down the feelings of your work, how those feelings add value to your client, and your pricing should reflect that. This is where the $1,000 pieces come in. The limited editions start to come in. I can hear you now, and you're saying, yeah, I want to charge thousands of dollars. I want to make good money from my photography. They say that you can't do this. And the real reason is because you haven't built the trust out there. You need your testimonials. You need to show that you've proven that what you give to your clients, you're actually giving. And it's a little scary at first. So I've given you the foundation of pricing, but I want to add this little bonus area because I'm here to help you continually make money, continually bring profits into your photography business. And so, what I want to do is take the creative side and the business side, and we're going to merge them together. I'll give you an example. Aunt lives in Sullivan, California, and they have some really beautiful shops over there. And you'll see that they'll have local artists. And in the store, there'll be like little postcards of their work where you could buy postcards or magnets or little things. And then there's another step that's a little bit higher where you could buy maybe a little print of a smaller print. So you could buy something a little bit higher. And then the next step are these big, huge pieces that you can buy that are already framed, which is awesome. Now, it's the same photographer that's in this store. This is just an example. It's putting your vision in there. And then the next area, they'll have huge, beautiful, which my aunt has purchased, is this beautiful landscape. And the photographer has signed it. And that's where he has put 1 out of 20. And that is very high ticket. Now, the next part of this photographer is that he will come and shoot an area just for my aunt. Let's just put my aunt in there. I mean, she hasn't gone that far. But if she wanted to, she could actually connect with this photographer and say, I really love this place over here by the ocean. And could you shoot that for me? Because I want to put it in my dining room or in my living room. And the photographer will do that. But that is a higher level. So that's called a value ladder. I want you to understand this is not about serving different clients. This is about serving the same dream client with different price points. And always remember, super duper important. Super duper. I always laugh. I love super duper. Super duper important. The more of your time it takes, the higher it should cost. Time is money. Okay, are you ready to wrap this up? We're almost done. So let's bring this all together so you have a package of understanding how to price. Start with simple cost-based pricing to build confidence and get you started with testimonials, right? Move into value-based pricing as you gain those testimonials. Build your value ladder so clients can grow with you and your business. Stop underpricing, stop doubting yourself, and start building a business that feels sustainable and exciting. Remember, you are the boss of your prices. Every sale builds confidence and proves your photography is valuable. So in my CC Biz, I give them a focus sheet to work on the value-based pricing. So just do it on your own here. Just map out your own ladder. Throw some ideas into ChatGTP if you like, but do it. Do the work and get excited about it. Test it out, see if it's something that you truly want to offer, and price it accordingly. And if you would like one of my freebies, you could go to photobizmethod.com, and I've got 3 to 4 different freebies that you could choose from depending on where you're at. Or you might even like mission to market. And the last video, which is number 5, is where we're going to focus on building your professional presence. And that's super exciting because we're taking all of this, we're going to combine it and share to the world your professional presence. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Did it help you? Do you have questions? And of course, I love hanging out because this is a premiere. I have been in the chat the whole time. I come here every single Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time to be with you so you can build your dream business. Until next week, I'll see you soon. Cheers, my friend. Bye. If you would like to get show notes, links that I talk about in the episode, and a bunch of other goodness like freebies to help you build your photography business, then head on over to photobizmethod.com. photobizmethod.com. See you there. So as I've been making these videos, it's Labor Day weekend and people are taking off Thursdays, and this campsite is fully packed. You can see them all coming in. I'll put this in towards the end. I haven't shared with you a behind the scene. Labor Day weekend. And it's